Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Let me get this camera in here a little bit better. Happy Sunday. All right. So we're starting a little bit on the 32 pill. We're not going to get much done, but I am going to try to do some of the small bits and pieces. And then later on this afternoon, I'm going to be opening up a box from another guy that sent me in an item to repair. And we'll kind of go through it a little at a time. It's kind of a project piece that I agreed to take um, in hopes that maybe it'll kickstart me to get into some of the other stuff that I've got going on. But, anyways, I figured we'd go ahead and make a few of the combiners and splitters and some of the small stuff here, and then we'll get into the big part of it here in the next couple of weeks. Um, Kid's actually going to be helping me out, not necessarily with this, but we're going to try to get we're going to try to get the concrete and get the hole dug, get the new tower set, so that we can get the beams actually put together here coming up very soon. So, so lots of little piddly stuff. I've already started winding part of this one, and we'll do another one here as we go along. The white stuff that you're seeing here uh, is actually like a thermal glue, so it helps helps actually hold stuff together, but it also helps dissipate heat and things like that. I thought it would be good to kind of do that in order to go ahead and help um, keep things in place. Granted, I mean, we've got our zip tie on the outside, but this gives it just a little bit more rigidity. So, like I said, we're going to start in on some of the small pieces. You know, it's all part of it. It's all got to be done in order to create the bigger, more powerful amplifier. So I'm actually going to be winding this with like a 8-port combiner. And an 8-port splitter. Been chatting back and forth with me, so I figured he's probably working on some of his projects that he's got going on there. 3 mate, he's probably still in bed sleeping. uh, Hello, David from Virginia. Good afternoon. And I figured we're not going to have a whole lot of people, but figure we might have people pop in and out today. Sit there and give another guy a message here real quick. Give me a second. There we go. But good afternoon, David. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. I'm going to try to get out here a little bit later on for a couple of hours, anyways, and see if I can't get the motorcycle out of the garage and maybe get it all ready to go for tomorrow. I got to check the weather and see what it's going to be like, because I'd like to ride my bike into work. We've been having some pretty good days up here, although the weather's been kind of chilly. Not sure how the weather's been there in Virginia for you, but up here in Indiana, it's been pretty doggone nice. So intentionally kind of left everything a little bit long on this, and part of that has to do with getting everything all in sync with each other. That one I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit or make one more change on it. Looks like my kiddo just made it back. It's one of the nice things about having a video camera set up. You can kind of see who comes in your driveway. Okay. One more wrap and we'll have this one finished. Go back and trim just a little extra off of this in a couple of places. So, okay. Hello. How are you guys? Hi, Cat. Yeah. Yeah, my wife's got some, or my wife's not even here. My kids got some visitors. So, how are you guys doing today? Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually doing a live feed here, so I apologize. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, nice to meet you guys. Yeah, we're trying to get these trimmed down to where everything's the same all the way around, and then we'll bring them all together in the center. It's another reason why I like leaving these a little long until everything's all completed. That way, if you don't get everything just perfect, you can go back and trim or tweak them as you want. Hello, Bruce. Are you working today, buddy? Wasn't sure if you were going to be out there in your man cave today, or if you were going to be working. So I'll bring these in here a little bit. I want to see how much more we need to take off, if any, because I want it to be above the ferrite, but I don't want it to be like oodles and gobs above, because that also changes. That changes quite a bit of things. Yep, just getting lunch and then going back. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't sure. I know you kind of got every other weekend off, but you kind of don't with being on call. So yeah, when you're making the bigger ones like that, and this is another reason why we've got it kind of like we do, just in case that slips off. It's actually more difficult to make these super tight. I mean, it's more just to hold it together while we actually do the physical, uh, physical trim and everything, and put everything together. Well, Bruce, hopefully today's been one of those days where it's like it was the other day when we talked. As far as with work, where you're kind of just standing around and not doing a whole heck of a lot. Hopefully, it's another easy day for you. See if we can't get these to kind of blend together. Just work these back and forth. You hear weekend on call. I'll get that a little bit tighter here, but then we'll straighten all this out and put our resistors and all that good stuff on there. That'll make a real nice point for everything to come together when we put our LC network together. It's actually amazing when you stop and look at that and see what 8 16 gauge wires stripped back and then twisted together. How large a diameter that makes. It's about the equivalency of about an 8 gauge wire, maybe slightly larger. Just going to give this a thin coating here. We're just mainly wanting to bring everything together so we know we don't have any mishaps with wire trying to do anything crazy. So we're just letting the solder kind of melt in, and or rather wick in, I should say. There we go. And to a certain degree, depending on how long or how big the wagon wheel is on the combiner, um, I like to leave plenty of extra. So whenever I go to strip back and try to move and adjust and get my spacings and everything as close to the symmetrical as I can, that's the reason why I like to leave everything, like I said, just a little bit on the long side. Well, hello, Mr. Popcorn. How's life treating you today? Well, so far it's been going pretty good. We're just out here kind of waiting a little bit on the weather to warm up a little bit more. It was 49 degrees very early this morning here in Indiana. So, it was a little too cold to really do a whole lot. And then I've been trying to clear off my workbench and, get a few more things ready for the next go around. Figured I'd go ahead and knock out a couple of pieces and parts. I'm gonna make some chokes up, and then, like I said, I've got another one I'm gonna get into later on this evening. It's a project, so there's one of those. It's kind of one of those that there's not really a time limit, but I want to get it opened up and see what I get into with it and what all it's going to need. So, and I think it's going to be an interesting piece. It's going to be something that you guys rarely ever see me work on, which is tube type equipment. So, you know, although I may be a little rusty, I still enjoy working on the stuff from rare occasions. But just so happens this guy sent me in this piece. and I just happen to have one just like it. However, he still got the original book, and he is the original person to have put it together. So, that's a it's kind of a feat in itself to find somebody that actually bought the Heath kit, put it together, and still has it after all these years. So, and I know that the one I've got has been monkeyed with, and you know, but it was one of those where it was kind of a dear friend, and it got willed to me. Um, okay, I see that I'm off on one of them. Anyways, it was a piece that had gotten willed to me, and um, I have it, so yeah, I got one of these off. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Well, I caught it till I got before I got to the end. It's real easy to do too, because you're sitting there looking at these wires and you see, oh well, yeah, I got what I need, and you wind up with one off. Later on this afternoon, I think I'm going to try to get my kid talked into helping me get the AC unit set in the window here for in the shop, because it has been getting, I would say, unseasonably warm, but that wouldn't be the case. It has been getting warm in here just because, well, it's summertime. Just crazy that we've got temperatures where it's still dropping into the, you know, upper and lower 40s. I think the other day it actually dropped all the way down, and I thought we were finally over the cold, cold stuff. It dropped down to like 39 degrees. It's like, what in the world? 57 degrees. It's actually made it, now that we're past the noon hour, it's actually made it up to 70. It looks like, according to the wall, it looks like 74 degrees. That's probably the reason why it's a little warm. I've got the door actually open for some fresh air and everything, but I'm actually having to turn my AC on, or my AC, my fan on, because it's getting a little warm. It's not bad. It's just the air gets kind of stagnant in here, because the building stays, closed up pretty much all the time whenever I'm not here. So when the weather's good, I like to open up the door and would open up the window, but unfortunately, the screen got damaged several years ago, and I've never got a new screen put into the window here in the shop. Other than the combiner, I really haven't made up my mind what colors I'm going to actually use for this all the way. That's what I've been trying to think of for the last several days. And the closest I can come up with is, I think I'm just going to do red and black for the primaries on everything. I do have a lot of red and I do have a lot of black. Of course, that orange that I've got, it looks really good too. I just haven't figured out what colors I'm going to do, what color I'm going to do on the output transformers. Like I said, I'm kind of procrastinating on that part of it just because I know that that is going to be a huge box and a huge plate. It's actually going to be sitting up here on the workbench, for me to deal with. So I've just been cutting pieces and parts of wire. Some of it I've got cut, and some of it I don't. But like I said, I wanted to get kind of a start on that. That way we can get to it eventually. Need to finish up some of the other stuff I've got here too. I figured the more I get some of these small little components like this knocked out, it'll make it faster whenever I go to actually build it. See if that looks right. Tell me if there's any more that need to be trimmed a little bit. I think my buddy Three Mate, I think he's still in bed sleeping. That solder will just wick right up in there. Voila. Yeah, those are the two hard ones. The easy ones are actually coming up next. Yeah, it's always kind of tedious, just like I said, just doing all the small little pieces and parts, but each combiner is different in, how it works. Well, not necessarily how it works, but the different formats. And I am using Type 61 in case anybody's asking or curious. Try something a little different here, see if it lets me have a little more control. I think I'm better off to do it the old fashioned way. I'm going to be using these on the input. I've got to figure out, because where I'm using a different transformer than what I normally use, I got to figure out how much wire I'm going to need for the output transformers. So we'll wait and get those a little closer. Once we get things on the start getting things on the board, I'll worry about the output on those. Okay. We got 16 of these we've got to make. Like I said, some of it's just tedious. You guys have been awful quiet today. Trying to use up some of these excess pieces of rolls that I've got left over of wire too, or wouldn't fit on some of the different spools and what have you. So plus it makes it easier as far as here on the workbench, um, to do the videos. Overall, I just usually reach up above my head and pull down whatever color wire I need. Or gauge. Alrighty, guys. I'll tell you what. It's been a little over 45 minutes. Let's take a break from doing this. And like I said, I'll come back later on this afternoon. I'll go ahead and finish up these here off camera and set them off to the side. But like I said, just wanted to try to get a little bit of something done, start getting some parts pulled and set off to the side, for the big build. Um, I got a few other parts that are coming. Transistors came in the other day, so we're good there. Uh, like I said, a lot of work. But anyways, guys, have a great one, and we will catch you hopefully this evening. Like I said, it just kind of depends on how things go, but we're gonna try to come back out here this afternoon and do another live feed, or at least put out another video. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a great day.